understanding processes, understanding your own mistakes. In order to fix something, you need to figure it out. This can be conveyed simply with words, even remotely. So, what do you need to figure out here? What causes stuttering? Why does your airflow stop? How can you make it so that your breath doesn't get stuck, so to speak? These are the main points we'll quickly go over today. How can you prevent your throat from tensing up? Because usually when your breath stops, as a sort of bonus, your throat also tightens up. Third, your tongue gets tense somewhere, meaning it doesn't obey you. The tongue turns from a piece of flesh that should just move like a flag in the wind into some kind of trill that it turns into a stick. And naturally, this stick has a negative effect and blocks everything else. So how do you fix that? How do you make your tongue move normally and not freeze up anywhere? That's a separate solution. Next, how do you make sure your lips don't get tense? That's also a separate solution, and you need to work on them too, because there's no single piece of advice like just mentally relax, don't think about stuttering, and that's it. Your breathing, lips, and tongue will all work fine, because that's not how it works. You've stuttered thousands of times before, maybe even tens of thousands, like thousands of times, and your body would freeze up in pretty much the same way each time, but with slightly different efforts. And your brain has already memorized the muscle impulses, the reflexes, like the lips, for example, need to tense up and so on. So the point here is that you need a certain kind of practice to prevent your tongue from tensing up separately, or your lips, your speech apparatus, your throat, or your breathing from stopping. But as they say, that's not all. Because you need to work with your psyche so that you only think about the subject of your speech and not about how you should start a word, and even less about how to make a difficult sound, whether it's a consonant or a vowel. And in fact, all of this can be done while sitting on a couch or on a chair, in an armchair, anywhere, whether you're on the phone or at the computer.